Good morning. This is your CDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo emphasized that health security is a matter of national security, as he urged the strengthening of regional systems to identify and prevent disease outbreaks before they develop into major emergencies.
We are ready. The next pandemic will simply arrive. Our responsibility is to ensure that when it does, the Caribbean stands prepared, not as separate nations responding independently, but as one region united by a common commitment to protecting the health and well-being of our people.
While speaking at the second Joint Regional Health Security and Regional Coordinating Mechanism meeting hosted at the Hyatt Regency on Tuesday, the minister pointed to the COVID-19 pandemic that crippled tourism, disrupted supply chains, and overwhelmed health systems as proof that national health surveillance and preparedness remains top priority in the region. He noted, however, that preparedness and response cannot be achieved in isolation and that the health security of one Caribbean nation is intrinsically linked to the health security of all Caribbean nations.
So no country, not the wealthiest, not the most technologically advanced, not the most scientifically sophisticated. The lesson is very clear. Preparedness is not a destination that we arrive at. It is a continuous process of investment, vigilance, collaboration, and adaptation.
Executive Director of the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, Dr. Lisa Indar, highlighted that since 2025, CARPHA and its partners have driven major advances in regional health security. Together, they have supported member states during outbreaks, expanded strategic partnerships, surveillance capacities, and developed Caribbean-tailored innovations in early warning systems. In other news, Minister of Labour, Small and Micro Enterprise Development, Leroy Batiste, emphasized that protecting workers in a changing job market while expanding the use of artificial intelligence remains a major government priority. He highlighted the impact of AI on shaping and strengthening the local labor market during his address at the International Labour Organization conference in Switzerland.
The future of work will be shaped not by algorithms alone, but by the values, policies, and institutions we choose to uphold.
In his address at the plenary of the 114th session of the International Labour Conference in Geneva, Switzerland, the minister said as this country continues to adopt the ethical use of artificial intelligence for the advancement of the labour market, it is also ensuring that relevant policies are in place to guarantee no one is left behind.
Recently, the Retrenchment and Severance Benefits Amendment Bill was passed in the Senate, aimed at ensuring that persons who face redundancy for various reasons, including technological change, are afforded terminal benefits. Additionally, the ministry will soon launch a national employment online network platform, NEON, allowing persons wide access to its employment services.
He boasted that through the Ministry of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence, the government is advancing a digital transformation agenda with the development of a local innovation ecosystem.
It is our responsibility to understand that AI is not the objective. AI is a tool to achieve the objective of creating a better standard of living for all. The government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago stands ready to work with our social partners, with the ILO, and with the international community to ensure that AI becomes a useful tool in realizing social justice and decent work for all.
In sport now, despite losing 3-0 to Russia on Tuesday in an international friendly, head coach of the Trinidad and Tobago senior men's football team, Derek King, referred to the match as good exercise for his team. TNT, who have now conceded 8 goals in their last 2 matches, now remain without a win in their last 8 matches. Their last victory came against Bermuda in October 2025.
Against a very good physical Russian team. We had moments that we put on the football and play, we were organized. And I think, this is games that we needed to take a look of some of our younger players, and I think it was a very good exercise today.
And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is Virmala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Virmala, good morning.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week.
Happy hump day, as they say. You know,
Absolutely.
that midweek hump.
Yeah, we're almost there. How are you this morning?
I'm great. What about you?
I'm doing good. I'm okay. A little bit sore from the gym yesterday.
Oh, you went to the gym, yeah. So did I.
Yeah.
I have to ask your business now. Where you train?
Legs.
Oh, nice. That was me on Monday.
Yeah, well, today we'll do some upper body because I really wobbled into work today.
Can imagine.
It was quite a feeling. Well, I have a question for you this morning.
Sure, yeah.
What is the secret to happiness?
The secret to happiness?
I know that's a very loaded question.
I know that is a loaded question. I consider myself a happy person. So many things that I had to let go of some things from the past that I carried to be a happier person. So I'd say one of the things I let go is other people's expectations for my life. That's one thing. Trying to live up to other people's expectations. That's one thing that does not serve you. Another thing is that you're not looking for happiness externally, that you manufacture your happiness within yourself. Because if you're contented and you're grateful in life for the things that you have, you'd look at things differently and not always feel like you're lacking something.
And
that's something I do every day.
Look at you, my very own Deepak Chopra this morning. But actually, that is all correct. And some experts are now saying that they actually have a theory about the secret to happiness. And you know what that is? It's simply feeling loved.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So before I go, I have to tell you that the secret to happiness is actually feeling loved. And how do you feel loved? You love on other people. You just focus so much on love in your life. You give love, you receive love. So the secret to happiness this morning is love. So with that, Carrie, I'll tell you goodbye and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, looking forward to it. Have a good one.
All right, Carrie. All right, bye-bye.
All right, thanks so much, Virmala. When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going after this short break.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition. It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba vijani. Oh, shun mi ba yeah. Oh, shun mi ba vijani. Arubita, yeah yeah yeah
Wednesday, 10th June 2026. The time now, it is 6:10 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. You know the drill. Let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisasa is defending the government's decision to extend the state of emergency, saying this measure is temporary but necessary to address more than 2 decades of violent crime. Ahead of today's parliamentary debate, Prasad Bisasa pointed to thousands of murders, rapes, robberies and other violent offences over the past 25 years. And she argued that protecting law-abiding citizens must remain the government's top priority. The Prime Minister said the SOE is part of a wider anti-crime strategy that includes police and schools, parental responsibility, legislation, job creation, and efforts to reduce gang influence in communities. She also said communities are demanding greater peace and security and pledged continued action against gangs and violent criminals to create safer environments for citizens. The Prime Minister also maintained that while the measures may require short-term adjustments, a few months of emergency action is justified when compared to decades of crime and violence. And she added that the government remains committed to giving communities, especially young people, a safer future. And as we continue to follow the murder of a 12-year-old Mercedes Lane, TTT News understands that officers probing the case visited the suspect's home in Palo Seco yesterday as part of their ongoing investigations. The 26-year-old suspect remains in police custody as detectives continue to gather information to establish a clearer timeline of events. A police team also visited key locations linked to the case, including the area where the child was last seen before reportedly entering a PH taxi, as well as her family's home. An autopsy has since confirmed that she died from multiple blunt force injuries to the head. Meanwhile, in a Facebook post, the St. Francis Erin RC school community is mourning, and they're following the passing of Mercedes, and they're remembering her as a gentle, joyful child who really brought light to those around her. Erin RC extended heartfelt condolences to her family, and they said her memory will remain deeply cherished within the school community. And the Board of Management of Holy Name Convent, Port of Spain, has made 2 announcements: the establishment of an independent review committee and a professional care unit. And this is following concerns raised within the school community and the wider public. Now, the board says the independent review committee will conduct a fair, confidential and structured review of the matters raised in the recent weeks, and will also operate independently of both the board and the school administration. And it will review submissions, identify key themes, conduct interviews where necessary, and make recommendations as well. The committee will be chaired by governance professional Vincent Pereira and includes attorney Rafael Ajodia, retired principal Paula Moses, attorney and corporate executive Francis Bain Cumberbatch, and clinical psychologist Isolde Ali Gent Garcia. Meantime, a professional care unit has also been established to provide emotional and psychological support to students, staff, even parents and other members of the school community who may wish to access it. The board says it will operate separately from the review process, with services delivered confidentially through the Samaritan movement under the leadership of Father Gerard McClone. Well, that's it for what's trending this morning. And coming up inside today's show, Parliament debates the extension of the SOE. And we'll actually speak with the Police Social and Welfare Association President, ASP Ishmael Pitt, about its impact on crime-fighting efforts and police welfare. Then, entertainer and autism advocate Adana De Leon shares her powerful journey through motherhood, grief, mental health struggles, and raising a son with autism. Plus, CJ this week, an international cycling event coming to TNT, real estate tips from Camino for home buyers, and the history-making all-female TASA team from Parvati Girls Hindu School. They join us after their championship victory. So you know what to do. Grab a cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun. Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Being connected, it means a lot because first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Hi, I'm Penny Gomez and welcome to Pop. It's Stacey Sowas. Welcome to Pop.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Look who's here. We have to level up.
Not that I can't compete with them young guys because they can't perform like Oscar B.
Listen, if Oscar B says so, is so.
I ain't even had to sing no lyrics. Come on. Come on.
Give her the prize.
No. They're about popping, Everything is popping. Don't need to too much assault. So that's why I say looking.
It's the best kitchen set.
Well, it is a gold microphone. That's a pendant on the mic.
So just in case your mic wasn't working.
Pull it down. Pack up.
Oh, Penny. A good relation is a relation based on pop.
All right, take 3. Right.
I love television for that. Fling out your hand, stick out your hand. Butterfly. Hey. Butterfly, Penny. Butterfly. Hey. Butterfly, Stacey.
Penny, you wicked.
It's that time of the year again, my friends. You feel it in the air. Football, football, football. It's back. Everyone's locked in. This is Richard Torpedo Thompson, and my Trinidad and Tobago people. I'll stay this straight. Fans make the game. Cheers, chants, passion. That's the heartbeat of football. There's only one 12th man that really brings the energy. That's Andre Errol Batiste on TTT. Every Thursday on TTT. Don't miss it.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. A special good morning if you're just joining us. Well, as Parliament debates a proposed 3-month extension of the state of emergency, we speak now with Police Social and Welfare Association President ASP Ishmael Pitt about its impact on policing, crime reduction efforts, and the welfare of officers on the front line. Good morning, Mr. Pitt.
Good morning, Virmala. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Excellent. Not too bad.
All right. Well, today the Parliament is debating a 3-month extension of the state of emergency. Now, Mr. Pitt, from a policing perspective, what impact has the current SOE had on crime-fighting operations?
Well, the impacts are quite significant when you look at the murder rate in comparison to periods when we were outside of the state of emergency. So it's no doubt that if we are to compare our number one crime type, which is that of homicide, that the SOE in itself is having a significant impact.
Yeah. Now, you've described the SOE as yielding tremendous results as well. So can you get into now the specific changes that the officers on the ground have been seeing since the implementation?
Okay, well, the changes would come from our ability to operationalize in terms of intelligence that would have been gathered, provided in terms of both our intelligence departments and also from persons who would provide information on the streets, and we are able now to convert that into intelligence. And I'm speaking specifically to our capacity now at this point in time, given the fact that the SOE has increased our policing powers, that we can take advantage of that in the sense that things that would usually require a lengthy process in terms of our ability to respond is now much faster. And also there are activities that are much more seamless, which in themselves would provide police officers with that opportunity to expedite. And in crime fighting, time is of the essence. And once you are able to capitalize on that, then you are able now to have a greater level of effectiveness in terms of your objectives and your prospects of success.
Now, the police service has been operating under heightened demand since last year, you would agree. So how have your officers managed the additional workload associated with the state of emergency?
Well, it has varied. There are some police officers who, they have indicated levels of burnout. There are other officers who are up to the challenge and, ready to continue. And policing is in itself a demanding job. And for that reason, we cannot bury our heads in the sand and ignore the fact that we have been operating at optimum levels for a significant period of time. It is one that will definitely cause any welfare body a level of concern, in that we would want our police officers to be functioning at a capacity where key decision making is not impacted, where their judgment is not impacted or impaired, in terms of critical decisions that must be made on the ground. So yes, in terms of the period and the length of time and the fact that it has been back to back, it has created some burnout in some quarters. But nonetheless, there are some officers who are up and ready to the challenge.
Now, you've also spoken about the importance of that work-life balance for your officers. What measures, if any, are in place to support that, the mental health and well-being of police personnel during this period? Because that's very important too.
Yeah, that's of paramount importance. And as I just said, the ability to make decisions, the ability now to manage stress. We as police officers, we also have a personal life, we have family life, we have social life. And for that reason, it is very important that we are able now to manage our varying responsibilities and commitments in a way that one area does not take away from the other. So that you don't want a police officer now taking his job at home And vice versa. You don't want that case of a police officer taking what is happening home within the work environment so as to impact it negatively in both quarters. So, yes, that work-life balance is of paramount importance, and it's one that I must say the commissioner has recognized, and for that reason we have all observed that in terms of how leave is managed in the organization, considering the SOE, there has been a significant consideration for officers who are desirous of taking their leave in order that if burnout is recognized, the process is now much seamless. I know that there were still some complaints in some quarters that officers were in fact facing a challenge where the receiving of leave is concerned, but I can say generally that the commissioner has given that commitment, and from our observation and based on the majority of feedback that we have gotten, it is being recognized, it is being observed, and for that reason, it makes the whole journey, this process, this stretch, an easier one in terms of officers being able to obtain their leave.
Now, how important has leadership from and support from the Commissioner of Police been in ensuring that the officers remain motivated and effective during the SOE? Sometimes a little bit of appreciation and motivation, it really goes a long way, right?
Indeed. And I must say that in this regard, the commissioner has been much to the front in terms of how officers are recognized for the tremendous job that persons have been doing on the ground. I know quarterly persons are called in at the police headquarters, and it's an official ceremony where persons are recognized in terms of their policing efforts. This as well occurs within the divisional realm, where in some divisions, the senior superintendents have taken it upon themselves also to have their officers recognized. Yes, so we must again commend the commissioner in this regard. He's also very much at the forefront of a lot of our operations. He's very visible, he's very operational, as I said before, and that in itself has offered a different level of motivation and a visible level of leadership as we progress through this very demanding period.
Now, the government has also indicated that disrupting gang activity remains the key objective of the state of emergency. So, from your observations, how has the measure assisted officers in really addressing gang-related crime?
Yes, well, gang-related activities, it's one that firstly is very sensitive, and it's one that it has so many different layers to it. The social layer, that would bring into the perspective economics, education, socioeconomic issues that would impact communities, and even if you're looking at it from a youth perspective. So the gang approach from a policing perspective is one that has not really been an easy task. I must say that significant strides have been made during the period of the SOE, in that the powers to detain via the preventative detention orders have given law enforcement an additional advantage. And for that reason, there are key persons who have been able to be identified, pointed out to the extent that they are within the domains of our prisons at this point in time. And it has provided the opportunity for some lull and fire in some instances, and our investigative capacity now to have some time in order to bring key pieces together in terms of disrupting gang and criminal activities, generally speaking. So it's not a case of, yes, we have won that battle. It's something that is ongoing at this point in time. It's a key focus for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in terms of the ability to treat with gang-related activities. It's something that has evolved. You'd appreciate the fact that probably 20 20, 25 years ago, there wasn't a proliferation of gangs as we would have at this point in time. And even the violence and the different levels of gang-related activities in itself has also evolved. So, as I said before, work in progress.
All right. So do you believe that some of the policing strategies being used during the state of emergency now can continue to benefit crime-fighting efforts in the future?
Definitely. From a policing standpoint, we would want to take away the positives of the SOE in that police officers at this point in time have a particular advantage in terms of our ability to operationalize and our ability to investigate, our ability to have persons placed in a position where they can't impact the society negatively, and that is done in a swift way. On the other hand, we must be able to treat this issue or these issues from a position of normalcy, and we would always aspire to have these type of results within a normal societal period, and take away the positives. But in terms of that balance, and I'm saying balance in terms of our ability now to move forward as an organization where burnout is minimized and, police officers operate within also some level of normalcy, not just the society, but the police officers themselves. That is what the end goal, I would think, would be on completion of this particular journey.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Pitt. Thank you for joining us this morning and sharing in that conversation and sharing your insights. Have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, same to you. Be safe and be safe, Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, thank you. As the national conversation continues around crime reduction and public safety, we also continue to acknowledge the dedication and sacrifices made by the men and women of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. We appreciate your time and your efforts and all that you continue to do to keep us safe in Trinidad and Tobago. We get ready to take a break, and when we come back, the show continues. Trinidad and Tobago Today. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. I hope that your morning's off to a great start. Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports. Committed, accurate, relevant.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
A story of resilience, motherhood, advocacy, and hope. For many families, an autism diagnosis marks the beginning of a journey filled with questions, challenges, and uncertainty. But for our guest this morning, that journey became much more than navigating autism. It became a fight through grief, depression, isolation, and ultimately self-discovery. Known to many as a recording artist, entertainer, and social media personality, Adana Miss Kitty De Leon has become a powerful voice for parents raising children with special needs. And through her advocacy and her platform, she's really encouraged countless mothers and parents in general to prioritize not only their children's well-being, but their own. She has also spoken candidly about the realities of raising an autistic son, the gaps in support systems, and the importance of creating a more inclusive society for neurodivergent individuals and their families. Joining us this morning, here she is, Miss Adana De Leon. Good morning.
Good morning to you from Adana's side and meow to you from Kitty's side.
All right. Well, we have both personalities here with us this morning.
Two in one.
But this morning, you are wearing the hat of a very proud mom and a mom who has worked really hard throughout this journey of raising your very lovely son. So thank you once again for being here and sharing this journey with us. So I want to start by saying that, you know, you've said before that you could truly help your son and you have had to learn how to help yourself in that process. So when you look back at the woman that you were when your son was first diagnosed, what do you tell her today? What do you say to that woman?
If I have to talk to that woman now face to face, I will say to her, Adana, let go. He is not broken. Nothing is wrong with him. He is perfect. He's just autistic, not a mistake. And if you just release and stop trying to fix things and just love him for who he is, everything will flow naturally and in place. Yeah, I believe that's what I'll tell her.
So at the time of your son's diagnosis, you were also coping with your own loss, I believe. Yes. There was the loss of your grandmom, your postpartum depression, and a breakdown of a relationship in your life. So how difficult was it to navigate all of those challenges simultaneously?
If I have to rate this on a scale from 1 to 10, that difficulty was at 10, full stop, because I couldn't process any of my emotions, because it's your whole entire love life crashing at the same time that you want to be grieving, you know, and at the same time you want to celebrate a newborn, and you can't process none of the emotions, you know. So I would put it on a scale of 10, because at that time I had an 11-year-old just sitting SCA, and he had to take care of me. That's how bad it was.
Wow. And you've also spoken openly about feeling alone throughout much of your journey. So what was the hardest part, if you had to identify one now, of raising an autistic child without the support system that you felt that you needed?
The hardest part for me is facing the harsh reality that if something should happen to me, what's going to happen to my son? Who's going to care for him? Who's going to take that mantle? That was the hardest part. Everything else I could fight with.
And how have you dealt with that over the years?
I didn't deal with it until I tapped back into music, and I'm now dealing with it.
Yeah, I understand. And you know, many parents may not realize how emotionally draining and demanding caregiving can be. And you've shared experiences of burnout, depression, even suicidal thoughts. So why do you believe it's important for parents to have honest conversations now about their mental health and say, I'm not doing well, I need help, I need to reach out?
I strongly believe if parents continue to be in denial and not face the fact that, listen, this is a serious issue with me more than with the child, because they are suffering. I'm not saying no because they're trying to deal with everything going on. Okay, let me just make a quick example, if that's okay.
Sure.
You speak English. Do you speak any other language?
A little bit of Spanish and French.
Spanish and French. How about if two of us go to China?
Mm-hmm.
And when we get to China, I know Chinese, but you don't know Chinese.
Yeah.
I was saying this, and I give me 2 seconds, I just wanted to use the washroom. And then that 2 seconds I left you to go to use the washroom. You don't know what these people are saying. The street is busy, horns are honking, the place is cold, and you're not seeing me, and it's too much for you. The only how you can get anybody's attention is when you start screaming.
Wow.
Because people are going to look at you and you're trying to get, I need help. And they're going to look at you're not saying chong chong ding dong chong yong, so they don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
They can't relate to you. But when it's too much for you and you start screaming, then you have everybody's attention. And I'm saying parents need to understand, take that mask off, come out of denial, because you're going to eventually start either abusing yourself or the child.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be filled with regrets. Why me? And a whole heap of stuff is going to happen because you're not facing the feeling, you're not talking about it.
Now, you made a really powerful statement that I want to zero in on. And you said, I was trying to save my son without saving myself. Can you tell us about the moment that you came to that realization, and how has it really changed your life or impacted your life?
Trying to fix everything. It's natural for us females. We always want to fix things. We want to fix the man, fix the house, fix the children. And here I am faced with autism and always wanting to fix him. I wasn't fixing me. I wasn't taking care of me anymore. So the stress that I was in, I realized he was feeding off of all that negative energy. So until I started to fix me, he was getting worse. So then the screams and all these different things that was taking place is because he's surrounded with negative energy while I'm trying to fix. Come on, say this, you're hungry, what? And you know, you're trying to get words, you're trying all these things. While you're trying to fix, it's stress you're pouring out. Exactly. And he's surrounded with negative energy. And until I stopped doing that and started focusing on me, the problem here is me, is I can't cope. The problem is I can't deal with it because I want him to be normal. He's perfectly normal. He's autistic. You understand? So we have different species of every animal on the planet. Why can't we have different species of humans as well?
That is a profound statement, Adana. And you've encountered some challenges. You've had issues from accessing educational opportunities, and you've also been dealing with situations where your son, as we were talking about becoming overwhelmed, he also became overwhelmed in public spaces. So in your view now, what are the biggest misconceptions that society still has about autism?
I was talking about that coming down the road this morning. They see that misconception of believing that autism has a face. But he not looking autistic, or she not looking autistic. How does autistic look? What face does autism has? You know, it's not like Down syndrome. You can't tell a child is autistic, and that is the biggest problem in society today. They see you with the child run off in the road, they say, but the child going mad, they don't even stop to think, or they don't know, they're innocent as well. So that thing of believing that autistic have a face, autism have a face, that is one of the biggest misconceptions right now.
Well, we definitely need to continue this discussion. There's so much to unpack about all of this. But before we let you go, despite all the challenges that you faced, Adana, what has your son really taught you about life and love and resilience?
Every time I think about my son, I want to cry. You see, my eyelash falling off, and I just say that on TV. Oops. You seen it? Wow.
You're fine. You're totally fine. Adana.
All right, Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, my son has taught me with no words, because he's nonverbal, that, Mom, I came back so that you can live. I'm alive so you can live. Having a child with autism spectrum disorder reminded me I buried all my talents. Because now, because of him, I'm tapping into all these talents for me and also for him. I am singing in order to provide for him. I'm singing in order to find my own therapy and my own peace. And once I start doing that, and I'm happy because now I'm loaded with dopamine, he's happy as well.
What a beautiful way to end this morning. Thank you very much, Adana. Well, we get ready to take a short break, and when we come back, there's more on Trinidad and Tobago today.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digicel is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel. And I never regretted it.
Ready to brighten your space the right way? Don't settle for the ordinary. Step into brilliant. At Trinity Lighting Etc. Limited, we bring you over 20 years of experience in bulbs, specialty lighting, and hard-to-find lighting parts. Not sure what you need? Our knowledgeable team is ready to guide you. Whether it's for your home, medical, commercial, marine, or business, we deliver quality you can trust at prices you love. Visit us today at 123 Western Main Road, St. James, or call us at 628-8373 or WhatsApp at 461-8620. Check us out on email at trinityetc@yahoo.com. Trinity Lighting Etc. Limited. We light up your life.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Turtle Awareness Week 2026 is being observed from June 8th to the 16th, highlighting the importance of protecting our sea turtles and their habitats around the world. The observance comes at a particularly important time for TNT as it coincides with the country's sea turtle nesting season. During this period, leatherback, hawksbill and green turtles return to our shores, making conservation efforts more critical than ever. Well, joining me this morning to discuss the importance of sea turtle conservation, the activities planned for Awareness Week, and how the public can really get involved. We have Dr. Alan Bacon, Executive Director of the Turtle Village Trust, and Mr. Matthew Ramsawak, Sector Development Lead, Tourism Trinidad Limited. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you this morning?
We're doing well.
All right, so I want to start off our discussion by asking you to break it down for us. What exactly are the sea turtles?
Well, Trinidad and Tobago has 5 out of the 7 sea turtles, and all sea turtles are endangered species, which makes it very critical. We have in Trinidad, everybody knows about the leatherbacks, the hawksbills, the greens, but we also have loggerhead sea turtles as well as olive ridley sea turtles. So we have a diverse population within Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the significance of the sea turtles to the marine environment, and also, by extension, what's the significance of the sea turtles to Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, sea turtles are what we call keystone species. And what it means by that is that they impact the ecosystem. They're critical to the ecosystem. Leatherback sea turtles, they eat jellyfish as their main diet. And jellyfish actually targets juvenile fish. So it can impact on the fisheries. But if you remember in the old days when we didn't have that much turtles nesting, we used to have our beaches filled with jellyfish. So it actually impacts on the tourism opportunities and the public's ability to enjoy our beaches. Green sea turtles, I mean, we have seagrass beds. They're called the grazers. You know, what they do is they mow the seagrass beds and keep them healthy, churning up the soil. And those are the nurseries for our juvenile fish. So it impacts on our fishery stock. Hawksbill turtles, they ensure our reefs are healthy. They eat sponges, which are they're basically poisonous sponges. So they play a critical role to the health of our coral reefs.
Yeah. So now I'm going to ask you, how many turtles nest in Trinidad and Tobago each year, and what kind of turtles nest here?
Well, we have a population. We have a program that is called the National Sea Turtle Conservation Project. This basically monitors our sea turtle populations, and it ensures that we have certain amount of protection on our nesting beaches. And this is basically a program that empowers community persons to basically manage their space, their turtle communities, for their own benefits. And over the years, our community persons have been lead in terms of our turtle conservation efforts. And we need to pay due respect to that, because they're the ones who have been on the beaches day and night, in rain, in sun, you know, to ensure that Trinidad and Tobago can boast as having the highest density nesting beach in the world in Grand Riviere. Trinidad and Tobago can boast as having the largest population of leatherbacks anywhere in the world, you know. So it's because of our community persons and that we are able to basically, Trinidad and Tobago is able to stand at this pinnacle in turtle conservation throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
So let's talk about the government's role now in sea turtle protection, and how does tourism really factor into turtle conservation?
So the role of the government is multifaceted. Trinidad and Tobago is signatory to a number of international conventions concerning the protection of sea turtles. And as a part of that, the government will manage local legislation and regulations that intend to enforce this. So you have many different actors, such as the Environmental Management Authority, the Institute for Marine Affairs, and the Forestry Division of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, who will work on the protection, regulation, conservation side. Our role as the National Tourism Agency and the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism is to promote the sustainable development of tourism across Trinidad and Tobago. Tourism is extremely important to sea turtle conservation because it does a number of things. It provides key awareness and education to people who will come to sea turtles about turtle conservation, helping them to be able to practice more responsible engagement with sea turtles. It also funds conservation activities, and it also brings livelihood opportunities to local communities. Dr. Bachan mentioned that a lot of the work that's done now is driven by local communities living in and around those villages and those beaches where turtles nest. And so tourism is really the lifeblood of their economic viability and allows them to continue with the wonderful work that they do.
Yeah. So Dr. Bachan, what can the community do to get involved in turtle tourism and conservation?
Well, you know, the community is heavily involved in turtle conservation in Trinidad and Tobago, and has been for a number of years, over 20 years, you know. And as I said, it is because of the work of these community persons that we are able to boast in Trinidad and Tobago about our position in turtle conservation throughout the world, you know. We need to understand the linkage between conservation and development, our developmental agenda. We nationally protecting of sea turtles supports the diversification agenda. What do we mean by that? We talk about how we can boost economic activities. The economic activities in these communities are ecotourism and agrotourism. The product that facilitates that ecotourism trust is sea turtles and the environment. So because we have a conservation trust, it allows us to have a product that we can market outside there towards boosting the tourism, the economic driver of ecotourism, thereby leading to livelihood development and sustainable communities. And if we understand that holistic concept, we would then understand the direction we need in order for us to build sustainability within communities and for the benefit of communities.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Bachan and Matthew, for joining us this morning. For more information, visit Tourism Trinidad's website. That information is on the screen for you. We'll definitely need to have you back to continue this conversation, sea turtle awareness. And of course, again, that website is on the screen for you. We take a break. Carrie's up next with the major network news at the top of the hour. We come back with more inside hour number 2.
Whatever the skies bring, stay prepared with TTT Weather. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house lives. We are always sweet.
Always 100. This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Being connected, it means a lot because First of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel. And I never regretted it.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders, turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The Ministry of Homeland Security has named a psychosocial intervention and education engagement initiative in honor of 12-year-old Mercedes Lane, as well as other child victims of crime. Mercedes lost her life over the weekend, and her body was subsequently discovered in an oil field in Aireen. Having already visited 6 schools in just 3 weeks, the ministry's Director of Policy and Community Support, Zahir Ali, told TTT News that the program is essential to addressing crime and criminality in the country. He explained that the program seeks to reach young people at a time they need it the most. Referencing the recent killing of 12-year-old Mercedes Lane, Mr. Ali said the initiative aims to trigger a change in the next generation.
I would like to dedicate this to her and all children who would have lost their lives through crime and criminality, demonstrating and signaling that their passing, their demise, must not be left without a response. And I want to take this opportunity to dedicate these interventions. Perhaps the students that we engage will be students that will not contribute to crime and criminality, but would contribute to positivity in Trinidad and Tobago.
Founder of the St. James Police Youth Club, Derek Sharbodi, described the program as a necessary and long overdue step, noting that crime cannot be tackled by law enforcement alone.
Effort, I think, offers well in terms of reaching young people. This is proactive, it is not reactive. It is a part of a plan, a deliberate plan to make sure to address young people thinking, giving them a sense of awe, a sense of purpose, a sense of value.
The program continues on Thursday with a visit to Arangwes North Secondary School. In more news, public and private sector organizations are increasingly focused on building sustainable partnerships to support the development of green spaces and ecotourism initiatives with strong community involvement. The Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program is one organization actively putting this into practice, including through projects such as the Mid-East Adventure Park in Richmond, Tobago. Chairman of the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program, Sean McCoon, says their mandate is more than just a fancy name.
Beginnings really supposed to add value to communities, to the islands, green business opportunities, to shine a light on our ecotourism product.
This is seen in their support of the Mid-East Adventure Park. Director on the board of Tobago Dark Warriors Kickboxing, Ostra Trotman, said her group began clearing the area during COVID-19 as a space for training, but soon recognized its broader potential. Needing assistance, they tendered through the reforestation program in 2023.
We are thankful that Tobago Reforestation allowed us to open up this space with the help of the cadre, because they work very, very, very hard.
The community, Ms. Trotman was able to clear more of the area, establish trails and camping spaces between the river and the beach, which features a bamboo cottage. In some sport now, it's been dubbed by many in Trinidad and Tobago as the Small Goal World Cup. On July 10th at the Maloney Indoor Arena, it will open its doors for the Kings of the Cage Small Goal Tournament. The 6th edition of the event will feature over 20 of this country's best teams who will do battle for a cash prize of $50,000. And tournament organizer Ronaldo Alexander isn't feeling the pressure of keeping the event exciting and fresh.
Actually feel extremely well, not knowing that we'd have reached to the 6th day of it after starting 2020 and then we paused due to COVID again. But seeing it reaching the 6th day and still has the anticipation and the build of the, not just the players and the patrons, it's an overwhelming feeling. There's always pressure in everything you do, but as I say, the ideas, as I said the other day, to outthink me and my team, it's very hard because the ideas always bubbling, always fresh ideas to bring something new.
And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back, it's hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Attention viewers in Trinidad and Tobago. The Truth of God now airs on the TTT network every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching of Pastor Jennings as he speaks from God's Holy Bible. The Truth of God, Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. on the TTT network.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 10-20 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT. If you're just joining us, a special good morning to you. To those of you streaming us live on Facebook and YouTube, taking us on the go wherever you are, well, a special hello to you as well. We hope your Wednesday morning is off to a great start and that you're making good time with everything that you need to do. Well, continuing with our show this morning, international cycling is coming to Trinidad and Tobago as the Speed Paradise and Carnival of Speed International Cycling Grand Prix pedals pedals into, is that a tongue twister? It pedals into the National Cycling Velodrome in Couva from June 19th to the 21st. Now, the UCI Class 1 event is expected to attract more than 100 elite cyclists from Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean and around the world, competing for the valuable international ranking points in what promises to be 3 days of exciting track cycling action. Well, joining me this morning is Mr. Robert Farrier, Managing Director of Team Drive Phase Sport, the organizers behind this major international event. And also we have with us Mackie, that's Makaira Mackie Wallace, elite female track cyclist. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
We're fine, thank you.
So now, for those of us hearing about this for the first time, what exactly is the Speed Paradise and Carnival of Speed International Cycling Grand Prix? That's definitely a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. And it's, first to begin, the International UCI Grand Prix, which is the governing bodies of the sport, Cycling Union, International Cycling Union, they have an international calendar. And this is an event that is placed on their international calendar. So this event is used by athletes around the world to gain world ranking points. And it's a stepping stone because from this event you get points to earn to go towards the World Championships in October, which is also the first Olympic qualifier for cycling. So it's very important to athletes around the world.
Yeah, and I know that this event also carries UCI Class 1 status.
Yes.
So how significant is that designation now in the world of international cycling?
So it is the highest rank points for UCI Grand Prix around the world. So yes, so they have Class 1s and Class 2s, and each rider has to gain 3 Class 1 points to go towards the world ranking. So it's very important to riders, especially our local riders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Mackie, how long have you been riding?
I've been doing track cycling for about 3 years now.
Wow.
I started as a junior and now I'm into the elite category. So as Mr. Farrier said, this event is very important for me and making sure I qualify for the World Championships later on this year.
Yeah. And how have you been preparing for this?
I mean, I've been training and racing, so I feel pretty ready and I'm really excited to compete in front of the local crowd, and I really hope people come out to support and come to see what track cycling really is about.
Yeah, so this is you in action on the screen right now. Wow, very focused indeed. I can see that. Wow, these are lovely pictures. So, Mr. Farrier, how many cyclists are expected to participate, and what countries or regions will be represented?
So we have just close to about 100 cyclists from around the world.
Wow.
We actually have cyclists from as far as Australia. We have the junior sprint champion men from 2025 from South Korea is going to be here. We have cyclists as far from India. So we
and
have
they're all coming to Trinidad and Tobago.
It's full tourism. So we have this is why we started calling the event Speed Paradise, because we wanted to just to showcase Trinidad as a paradise to the riders that come here.
Yes.
So so it's a little bit that's where the sport tourism started.
Wow.
And it's 2 events in one. So the first day, Speed Paradise, we have all the sprint and carrying events on that day, which is an endurance events, which is 2 in 1. And then the Carnival of Speed, which is another event on 2 days afterwards, is where we have it's split into the 2 days of competition. So we brought the whole tourism into it,
yes.
Where we have a synergy of sport and culture by placing these names together.
So you're competing in all this as well. Do you know any of the other competitors, or you're just going into this by yourself?
I've heard of a few names who are coming. I'm not exactly sure who's confirmed to start, but I'm really excited to get to race against an international field of girls again, in front of my country.
And also it'll be a really great networking opportunity.
Yeah.
You get to meet like-minded and also people in the sport, and that can probably in itself open tons of opportunities for you and the other people competing.
Yes, definitely, especially for the younger riders who's up and coming, like Makaira, get the opportunity to race against some of the world champions that would come here.
Yes.
I mean, some of the junior riders or junior, men riders will see what a junior world champion looks like, what he races like, what he, get an opportunity to race against that person. So it's a really good opportunity for even the riders that thinking about getting into the sport at that level. It's a good opportunity to see what the competition at that level is all about.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago has also produced several world-class cyclists over the years. How does this event help to continue that legacy?
So it's actually, we have all of our national team riders, except one, I think, that would be representing us at the up-and-coming CAC Games and Commonwealth Games next month, will be participating in the event. I think it still have riders that are vying for spots for selection for those teams. So it is very important for them for this event, it's very important for them to showcase what they have.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Maki, what are you looking forward to most about all of this?
As I said, I'm really, really excited to race in front of my home crowd and have my family come and watch me in the velodrome and my friends. And I just hope people come out and really get to see how exciting track cycling is. It is a really exciting sport and fast-paced. So we win by this much of a margin. So it's really exciting to
definitely
showcase what we have.
A thrill, I can only imagine. So, Mr. Farr, tell us about the actual event now. Can people come out?
Yeah, definitely we need people to come out. We need to fill the velodrome. So it's the 19th, which is Labor Day, Friday, the public holiday.
Perfect opportunity.
Perfect opportunity. And then we have Saturday and Sunday. And Sunday we have specials for the public.
Yes.
We're doing giveaways, a full bicycle giveaway, courtesy biking.
Wow.
Right? So you can get your
a
tickets.
Great Father's Day gift
Yes,
as well.
you can get your tickets at Biking Marabella and Shogunas.
Okay.
Advanced tickets. And then we have also Mark's Fitness is giving away a stationary bike. So if you want a Father's Day, you want to come and you're going to get a startup to start your exercise program.
Yeah.
And it's really fantastic to have these two sponsors on board.
So again, it's June 19th to the 21st. So that's a nice long weekend of activity, and we're excited for this.
Yes, very much so. And bring the family out. It's only $80 for advance tickets and $200 for a season ticket. So for $200, you could come anytime. We have 6 sessions on the 3 days, but on we have only finals that run off on a Friday, on the afternoon period, which is from 5. So so you have 6, so you can buy a season ticket and come at any time and watch cycling.
Well, Maki, before we go, what would you like to tell all of your fans who will be coming out to support you on those days?
I just want to say, well, to people that support me, I'm always very grateful for the support that I have gained from the country and from my friends and family. And I just want to say thank you to them, and hopefully everybody comes out to watch.
Yeah, and Mr. Farr, what would you leave with our viewers this morning? Why should they come out and support?
It's because it's not I show speed, it's that we show speed. So it's the opposite, right? Speed will be on show. So there's a lot of speed cyclists going around the velodrome at 70 plus Ks. So it's very exciting. And if you have never been to that facility, it is world class. Fantastic opportunity to come and see a world class event.
All right, well, the number is on the screen for you now if you want more information and, of course, the details of the upcoming event. Again, that's June 19th to the 21st at the National Cycling Velodrome. Well, the time now, 7:17 on Trinidad and Tobago today. Well, in case you're wondering, what is the weather going to be like today? We have you covered. Zaina is here with our weather update.
I am Zaina James with your weather update. As a tropical wave moves across our area, Wednesday will bring a mix of sunshine and the intermittent showers. While we are not expecting washer conditions, there is still a low chance for some showers to become heavy or thundery, especially over southern Trinidad where moisture levels are expected to be higher. If that happens, gusty winds and localized street flooding are possible. With the increase in moisture, Saharan dust concentrations will remain minimal, but a slight haze could still linger across the islands. For those heading out on the waters, seas remain moderate with wave heights between 1.5 and 2 meters in open waters, while sheltered areas remain below 1 meter but can become occasionally choppy near showers.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Your heart, brain, and body work hard every day. Give them the support they deserve with omega-3. Packed with essential fatty acids, omega-3 helps support heart health, brain function, and overall wellness. Whether you're staying active, focused, or simply living life to the fullest, live healthier with omega-3. Wellness that works from within. Tune in to Wellness Unlocked on TTT Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:45 a.m.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
Hi, my name is Rachel. Camino Realty is built on the belief that every client deserves trusted guidance, personalized support, and solutions tailored to their unique journey. Driven by integrity, commitment, and excellence, Camino is dedicated to creating meaningful relationships with long-lasting impact.
Hi, I'm Roseanne. At Camino, our greatest strengths are a combination of market knowledge, experience, and communication. The team understands the industry beyond just buying and selling, including valuations, financing, investments, and property management. This allows our clients to receive well-rounded guidance and support.
My name is Chioke Pierre. I've been working at Camino for the past 3 years, and it has been a great experience. The team's market knowledge and experience really stands out, and there's a strong sense of professionalism and support throughout the company.
Hi, I'm John Shersing. I've been a real estate agent with Camino for 2 years. Camino sets very high standards for service. They never let us get too comfortable. They're always pushing us to learn more, do more, evolve. They transform every preconceived idea I have about real estate. We're so much more than just buying and selling.
I'm Christian Ragber.
and I just started working at Camino as a real estate agent. For me, one of the best parts about working at Camino is the team's culture. They strive on efficiency, they are approachable and supportive. Communication is always clear and professional. This experience has allowed me to appreciate the real estate industry and the role of an effective real estate agent.
Camino Realty.
Elevating lives one property at a time.
On Wednesdays, we're joined by the Camino Realty International team as we focus on a wide range of real estate topics to educate, support, and empower prospective homeowners throughout the property purchasing process. So, good morning and welcome back to our favorite, the Managing Director, Rachel Ramlal. Hi, Rachel.
Good morning, Virmala.
So I know we've spoken about the costs involved with valuations and survey reports and fees and all of that, but, a lot of times we actually don't understand closing costs and what that means. So I hear that popping up a lot. So this morning I want to ask you a little bit about that. And we underestimate closing costs as well. So tell us, what exactly are the closing costs?
Okay, great. So it's glad that you said that we underestimate it, because that is so true. A lot of people, when they go through the mortgage process, well, as you know, you get pre-qualified first. And they normally give you like a little certificate and they say, well, this is the amount you qualify for, this is the rate, this is what your monthly installments is going to look like. And then at the end, there's usually a section called closing costs. And it's just a very big figure sometimes, So a lot of people, they do underestimate it because closing costs are entirely separate from your down payment or your deposit.
Really?
Which is why it comes as a shock to a lot of people because they're thinking, okay, well, I made my down payments already. That's already 10% the value of the property. And now you're coming to tell me I have to pay tens of thousands of dollars more at the end of the whole process. So it's good that, or people should be aware of what those closing costs are. So just as the name says, closing costs, it's usually costs that come towards the end of the whole mortgage process when everything is closing. And those costs could include things like your legal fees. So your attorney would do title searches at the beginning, and then they would also prepare the purchase agreement. They would also be preparing your deed of mortgage or your deed of lease. So those are the legal aspects of it, and those are what your legal fees are going to cover.
Okay.
The good thing about Camino Realty is that our purchase agreements, we don't charge you extra if you have to make a change on it, so that's just something to note there. Other costs included are things like stamp duty. So when you purchase a property, you have to pay the government tax. Now, the stamp duty depends on the value of the property. And a good thing to note here is that first-time homeowners are exempt up to a certain amount. So I believe that is $850,000. You are exempt. And then the amount they charge you, it goes in a range. So it's like $850 to $1.25. They would charge, I believe, 3%, and then the ranges change along with the percentage as you go up, and that's how you calculate it.
Yeah.
You have your other fees, like your mortgage processing fee. So the bank charges you a fee for processing the mortgage. And then you have things like insurance. You'll see valuation is noted there. But as we spoke about earlier, valuations can be done earlier on in the sale process. So you may pay for it upfront, or you may pay for it coming down to the end of the whole mortgage process, depending on who your lenders and how you're going to do that. Yeah.
All right. So on the screen right now, well, a few seconds ago, you would have seen some of those costs for your closing costs. And again, Rachel she broke those down for us, and you were able to break it down in a way that we actually understand that this is separate from your down payment. Exactly. So do not ever underestimate your closing costs. Yes. All right, Rachel, we want to say thank you so much. Next week, we have something even more interesting to talk about.
Yes, we have a surprise for you guys next week. We'll also be doing the draw for the winner of the Support Local competition this week. On Friday.
Okay.
Yes.
So does that
people
mean
still have like a couple days
opportunity
to go like
yeah.
and share. Yeah. We have like over 300 persons participated. So yeah, we're very excited.
Still
for
have the
that.
opportunity to qualify for that very special
Yes.
giveaway, and you might win something from the Angry Guppy with Carmina Realty. Thank you very much, Rachel, for joining us this morning. We see you next week, Wednesday, where we do this all over again. The time now 7:28. We take a short break and come back with more.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you know, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
TTT weather with Zaina James, daily at 7 p.m.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition. It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, got you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
We join our colleagues at Talk City 91.1 FM as we continue our weekly link up, a space where TV and talk radio come together to reflect the conversations that truly matter. We're checking in now with the presenters to get a sense of how their shift is going and what's currently driving discussion on their end.
It's unfiltered, y'all.
Unmatched.
Unscripted.
You're dressed for talk. This is the link up. This is the link up with Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM, good morning. Good morning.
Yes. Loud and clear?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. Andy?
It's good to see you both.
Yes, I'm here now.
Good to see you as well. We look forward to that. Andy said that I look forward to it. I suppose it is a psychological ploy to see that he looks forward to it. Reverse psychology, you know. But go ahead.
Well, Andy, it's always a pleasure to see you here. Lennox, you are a treat. But Andy, I feel like you look a little bit upset this morning, so I'm going to dive right into it and ask what's wrong.
What's wrong? What's wrong is that I saw in the papers here that the government, especially after the murder of the 12-year-old, the government is deciding to, right as I get it back here, they decided to put measures against PH driving. And I'm saying that if it is they can't, it's impossible. Taxis in Trinidad and Tobago work from 6 to 6, let me say 6 to 6. It have many areas in Trinidad and Tobago that depends on the PH drivers. And I'm not seeing a PH driver or people working PH in any way connected in any way to that murder. Let me be real, because people could use a taxi to do that nonsense that took place there. And I think it will encourage more crime in Trinidad and Tobago. Besides that, even if you have a petty conviction, to get a taxi badge is very hard. So long as your certificate of character is saying yes, that you have a conviction, you cannot get a taxi badge. And sometimes people may falter, let me say, when they were 17, 18, 19, 16 years old, 10 years, 15 years pass, they want to get a taxi badge, but they have that record and they cannot. So, and I think they should regulate the PH taxi industry, and not because some people depend on that too as a second job. Because $5,000 a month can't help a family member or a family to pay rent and send children to school and all those various things. Some people will finish work 4 o'clock and then go for that little hustle at the end of the day, So that is what, but in me, I think that approach is a no-no. That problem, Lennox?
Yeah. Well, no, I agree. The government is faced with a dilemma because, of course, you have in your regulation, you have to, of course, look at the suitability of individuals and therefore the criteria that you would use, one of which is exactly that you use for the normal acquisition of a taxi badge, and that is a certificate of character. And usually these people find themselves, those without or those who will not have a clean bill of health, so to speak, in that regard, will find themselves in that industry and have found themselves in that industry simply because they will not be qualified. So what will be the qualification, first and foremost? And secondly, how do you bridge the gap? How do you treat with the vacuum that would be created when you would have taken them out of the system, so to speak? And I'm assuming that those things are being considered and how you can get the best of all the worlds. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for that. Let me just share what we've been talking about this morning. A myriad of topics, of course, but I think this will interest you very much, Andy. We spoke with Mr. Ishmael Pitt, ASP, this morning, and we were talking about the impact of the SOE on policing and, of course, police welfare and how the officers have been faring, and to just ensure that our officers are in tip-top condition mentally as well to make the best decisions for their job as they continue to protect and serve. So we had a really nice discussion on that. As you know, the Parliament is debating that proposed 3-month extension. I do believe I lost some audio from
all right, good.
Andy.
Yes. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, Andy, you want to respond because I'm willing to respond.
Let me, you respond first, and then I'll give a response after.
Yeah, well, a caller called in earlier and talked about the mental state of the country in general, and I suppose that discussion, even though we didn't plan it, is certainly by sheer serendipity, by sheer chance, we talked about the same issue as to the general state of mental health in the country as a whole. And certainly that extends to the police officers as well, and the strain and pressures that are SOE would add to their normal work. And I think it was a very good initiative by you across there to bring up that and to let the population understand the kind of challenges that mentally and otherwise that the police would be engaged and are called upon to play in these very, very trying times.
Well, I know we have approximately 1 minute or 30 seconds. I will say that the police service get really and truly have serious mental health problems. I believe so, really and truly. Because they get a powerful tool like a SOE. And yet still, to me, I really not see no proper policing or detective work or anything. And I seen the papers again today where they show they have some sticking of evidence to hit they have some sticking of charges to bring on some of the people that they pulled during the SOE here. And again, a powerful tool like the SOE. And yet still, after the SOE, them fellas walking out. And it means the police need help. The police need help.
Gentlemen, I guess we'll find out what's happening after that debate. And maybe when we have our next conversation, we'll have so much more to talk about. But this is where I say thank you. Have a great rest of your shift. We'll talk to you soon and have a good day. Thank you, Andy and Lennox.
Same to you and stay beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much. That was the link up with Talk City 91.1 FM.
It's unfiltered, y'all.
Unmatched.
Unscripted.
You're dressed for talk. This is the link up. This is the link up with Talk City 91.1 FM.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack. Whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes, we are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition. It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100. Got you on your way. Sweet 100. Sweet 100.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays, 6 p.m., Tuesdays, 1:10 p.m.
been made in Trinidad and Tobago's cultural landscape. An all-female team from Parvati Girls Hindu College has become the first all-female group in 42 years to win the Republic Bank Tassa Tal competition. The team didn't just capture the championship title, they also took home the People's Choice Award and the Best Cultural Depiction Award, making it a truly memorable and groundbreaking achievement. Well, joining us now to discuss this historic victory, the journey behind it, and what it means for young women in the cultural arts are Tassa coach Lenny Kumar and principal, and actually one of my teachers back in the day at Lakshmi Girls Hindu College, and she's now the principal, Dr. Sharda Maraj Ramjatan of the Parvati Girls Hindu College. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to be here with you, and congratulations on this remarkable achievement. Now, how does it feel now to be part of this first all-female team in 42 years to win this Tassa Tal competition?
Well, I'm really happy. You know, the girls won the competition, but this journey have started with me from a very long time. So my started with my daughters, and they were pushed around when entering competition. So we have the all-female Tassa band that was then the NGC Sweet Tassa all-female band. And when Miss approached me to tutor Parvati Girls, it was an honor to work with them, because I only have daughters, and being around female, you know, it's nice to see women taking part into these things. So grooming them to be where they're at, it made me feel good, because I know it's a struggle to female being accepted and doing things in male-dominant things.
Yes. So I want to build on that now. Miss, tell us a little bit about that. I mean, this is a male-dominated area of music. And now seeing what your students have been able to achieve, how do you feel about all of this?
I'm elated. I'm really, really proud of them. The thing is, I didn't even have that vision that we could go this far. This really started up with me wanting to create opportunities at the school, give the students a chance to express themselves, you know, in different art forms. And I just wanted something initially where they could occupy themselves, they could build self-confidence, you know, help them release some of the stresses during the day. So even if they have their classes after school, on a lunchtime they have the drums, they could participate and they could do things, you know, to occupy themselves, build camaraderie in a positive manner and things like that. And then I started to think, what if we could really challenge gender stereotypes? And I approached Mr. Kumar within a year, and I asked him, I didn't want anybody to tutor the girls. It's an all-girls school, and parents are still very much protected over their daughters and so on. So I approached Mr. Kumar, and knowing his reputation in the industry, I brought him on. And within the first year, the subscription to the class, it was phenomenal. The children showed an interest.
So it's an extracurricular class?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then the class today, we have two classes, the junior and the seniors, who play, and they play excellently. And then we had participated in Tassa Tal twice before. We were just a young group, only about, first year we formed, we placed third. Second time we placed third, and this time they gave it everything that they had, and they topped the competition. They took away all the awards. So I am really happy. Whether they had won or not, I think the objective I had in mind back then has materialized today.
Yeah. So they won a few awards as well. I believe it's also People's Choice Awards and Best Cultural Depiction Award. Tell us about those.
Okay, so with my experience, taken part in Tassa Tal competition, I've won that 11 times with my family band.
Yes.
And I know the expectation, what judges look forward for, and the cultural aspect of it. What I did, I'm a historian into the drum, so I'm a fifth generation in the Tassa, so I have all the art and the mind always traveling to different avenues. And what I did, I did a history. So what I did is a dedication to our ancestors. So I did like all the different styles of dance, and I create the music to coincide. So we kind of dramatize the music. So, you know, some people cannot imagine that you can see the color of music.
Yeah.
So we played the music in such a way that will coincide to dramatize the whole act on the play. So we did a play. So we used the
the school to do the play and the act. So we tell a story about different style of dance. We told a story about the Hussein massacre that happened in 1884. So that story, we kind of reenact the whole thing. So we had like certain time during the play, and we'll have like gunshot firing between 1884 when the Indian child laborers came together and they had the massacre in San Fernando, in Monroe Post, San Fernando. 22 people died, and I think it was 91 or 92 people got injured. So I wanted to reenact that whole scenario, but tell the story. You know, so I think that was one of the main things that captured the whole play.
All right. Well, before we go, Miss, what would you say to young girls who may be interested in TASA, music, and other cultural arts? And again, it's a male-dominated area, but what message do you hope this achievement really sends to other young girls?
I think it's a matter of challenging yourself, knowing that you could do anything that you put your mind to. You build self-confidence. You demonstrate your voice, and you own your agency as well. You communicate well, and not only that, TASA, even though it's male-dominated, should be looked at in an equal manner now, because it is really an art form, and owning that and believing in your identity and so on, it's just a matter of expressing yourselves, and it is an asset to have. The skills from it is an asset to have, because it complements them in any facet of life that they may work. Right now, half of the team, they are into exams, CAPE exams, and they played in the midst of exams, and it was really like a stress breaker for them as well. So, I saw them grow from Form 1 right up, and it's really a joy to see how much they have grown in terms of their communication skills, their self-confidence, and their ability to express themselves, but retain the cultural identity to which they were brought up.
All right, well, thank you very much, Principal and Mr. Lenny. Well, guess what? We have a special treat for you. The team is actually here, and they'll put on a very special performance for you when we come back from this break. Parvati Girls Hindu College up next.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition. It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, got you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Just about 8 8 minutes to the top of the hour. This is where we shut it down for today. Thank you so much for joining us on Trinidad and Tobago today. But as I promised before, a very special treat. The winners of Tasatal 2026, they're here with us. It's the Parvati Girls Hindu College. They get to close the show for us. Join us tomorrow where we do this all over again, 6 to 8 on TTT. Here you have it. Parvati Girls are winners of Tasatal for you this morning.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. With government headed to Parliament today, Wednesday, to extend the state of emergency, Acting President of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social Welfare Association, ASP Ishmael Pitt, describes the effect the SOE is having on policing.
Well, the impacts are quite significant when you look at the murder rate in comparison to periods when we were outside of the state of emergency. So it's no doubt that if we are to compare our number one crime type, which is that of homicide, that the SOE in itself is having a significant impact.
ASP Pitt noted that the SOE also allows police officers to take quicker action on intelligence. He added that time is of vital importance in police investigations.
The fact that the SOE has increased our policing powers, that we can take advantage of that in the sense that things that would usually require a lengthy process in terms of our ability to respond is now much faster. And also there are activities that are much more seamless, which in themselves would provide police officers with that opportunity to expedite.
ASP Pitt says that despite the effectiveness of the SOE, some officers have experienced burnout, while on the other hand, some are ready to continue.
In that we would want our police officers to be functioning at a capacity where key decision making is not impacted, where their judgment is not impacted or impaired in terms of critical decisions that must be made on the ground. So yes, in terms of the period and the length of time and the fact that it has been back to back, it has created some burnout in some quarters. But nonetheless, there are some officers who are up and ready to the challenge.
He indicated that Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara has been very supportive of police officers, allowing them to take much needed leave and acknowledging their work. In more news, the workplace is undergoing rapid transformation, driven by technological innovation and more flexible employment models. In response to these evolving demands, CETAL College has teamed up with corporate Trinidad and Tobago to prepare prospective employees through its Connecting the Dots Finishing School program. Executive Director of CETAL College, Anne Marina White, explained.
We have young people with ambition, talent, and academic exposure, but many still face difficulty converting that potential into meaningful employment. We also have employers who say that vacancies exist, but too many applicants are not fully prepared for the expectations of the workplace.
According to CETAL's Director of Technology and Business Development, John Outridge, the program will fill those gaps, ensuring that participants are not only qualified, but ready for employment.
Readiness in terms of helping persons again understand workplace policies, the importance of ethics and integrity, right, and early career leadership, because we are seeing in this age of AI, particularly you find not a lot of young people are being absorbed into the system, and you realize that it's because people are expecting AI to take over and do everything. But at the end of the day, we have to help young people kind of understand what is their future career path. Where do they see themselves in 5 years?
Through its newly launched Young Professional Education Plan, the financial institution will also provide individuals with access to funding to further their education. And now for a look at sport. Despite losing 3-0 to Russia on Tuesday in an international friendly, head coach of the Trinidad and Tobago senior men's football team, Derek King, referred to the match as a good exercise for his team. TNT, who have now conceded 8 goals in their last 2 matches, now remain without a win in their last 8 matches. Their last victory came against Bermuda in October 2025.
We played against a very good physical Russian team. We had moments that we put on the football and play, we were organized. And I think, this is games that we needed to take a look of some of our younger players, and I think it was a very good exercise today.
And that was your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From all of us here to you, have a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local.
Morning. Ready for a few questions?
Hi, morning. I'm ready.